Hi and welcome to Outwell.com. In this session we're going to be taking a look at our Arkansas 5, which is in our AvantGarde collection. As you can see, the AvantGarde collection is characterised by these unique design prints across the roof panels here and the Outwell stripes along the bottom panels of the tent. So the Arkansas 5 is a tunnel design tent which sleeps up to 5 people. The fabric that we use on here is our Outex 5000 material. Now that's a polyester which is PU coated on the inside and it has fully taped seams and a hydrostatic head of 5000 millimetres. We use the Outwell power stability system which utilises these tubular steel poles for stability and rigidity, and also it makes it very easy when it comes to pitching. And the advantage also of this system is that it gives us increased head height in the tent as well. An innovative feature that we use is the Outwell wind stabiliser system. That's designed to attach the fly sheet directly onto the frame of the tent using these Velcro straps here. It's very easy to put together. All we need to do is just wrap this around the pole, pop it on like that, and wrap this Velcro tab around here. You can see that that gives that a solid connection to the fly sheet. Now what this does is it increases the stability of the tent. In fact, you can be safe in the knowledge that this tent has been tested to withstand a force 10 on the Beaufort scale, which represents 55 to 63 mile-an-hour winds. So like I say, good peace of mind there that this tent is going to withstand some pretty horrendous weather. Attached to the wind stabiliser system, we can see that we have these reflective tabs here. That just makes them nice and easy to spot at night when you've got your head torch on if you have to be pitching your tent in the dark. You'll also notice that we use these Luminous guy lines on here. That's just so that you can see them again, make them nice and visible in the dark, make sure you're not going to trip over them as well. Each guy line has its own retainer, so what that means is when it comes to packing down the tent, you simply take the guy line out the ground, wrap it up in your hand and pop it into this Velcro tab here. That keeps it nice and tidy for the next time you come to use your tent, and it obviously makes it nice and easily accessible as well. Another feature of the tent is that we use the Outwell Easy Pegging system. Now that consists of 3 different types of pegs. We can see here that we have the solid steel pegs here, which are our anchor pegs, and they're designed to be used on the 4 corners of the tent. The black peg is designed to be used for all the side pegging points and for the mud valance on the front canopy. And then the Luminous peg here is designed to be used with the Luminous guy line, again just making it nice and visible to make sure you're not going to trip over it at night. Another feature here that we have on the outside is this ventilation panel, very easily accessible just via these Velcro tabs here. What that's going to do is just allow nice cool fresh air into the tent and give you a much more comfortable climate when you're in there. Stepping around the front here, we can see that on the canopy we have this mud valance along the bottom. That's just going to encourage rain to run off the tent and away from the living area at the front here. So coming around to the canopy, we can see that we have this generous size here. It's a good amount of space. We have lots of head height here and enough sort of space to be able to bring the outside just slightly into the tent. As you can see, we have these drying rails on either side of the canopy here, which is obviously handy just to dry any wet clothes or anything like that. Stepping into the living compartment of the tent, we can see that we have this divide here with windows on the front, and we have a large front door here which makes it nice and easy to get all your kit in and out of the tent. This front door does have a mesh panel on here as well, so we can actually leave the door open but close down the mesh panel to stop any insects getting in as well. The ground sheet that we use in the tent is a double coated polyethylene ground sheet. Now that's very tough and it's very durable, and it's also very waterproof with a hydrostatic head of around 10,000 millimetres. It is a sealed ground sheet system, which means that right from the front of the living area right to the back, and obviously to either side as well, is completely sealed in, even under the sleeping compartments there, so that's going to give you better protection. It is a bathtub style ground sheet, so that means it comes up at the sides. You're not going to get any water coming in through the sides. You're going to keep out any draft and any unwanted creepy crawlies as well. Just above my head here, we can see that we have this lantern hanging point here, which is ideally placed if you want to be able to eat inside when it's a little bit darker. Just running along from that, we have these cable ties which do lead down to a cable entry point there next to the door, which means that the door can be closed but you can still bring your cables into the tent. Like I say, there is a door on this side here. Again, that can be opened up and this mesh panel drop down to give you increased ventilation. And again, as you can see, this is what it would look like when that's like that. So again, you're going to keep the tent well ventilated, much more comfortable climate, and also stop any insects from getting in. In terms of light getting into the tent, there's plenty of opportunity for that because we have these large windows here. If you want a little bit more privacy though, or if you want to sort of get yourself some shade from the sun, then obviously the windows have these curtains here. As you can see, they tuck away into these pockets. Now they're zip-up curtains, and that's ideal if you want to be able to just close the window slightly. You obviously have as much choice as you want, as there is a zip on either side, but they can be fully closed as well. Just above each window you'll also see these ventilation panels that I mentioned earlier on that correspond to the ventilation on the outside of the tent. At the back is where we'll find our sleeping compartment, and as I said, this tent sleeps up to 5 people, so we have a 3 and a 2 split at the moment. As you can see, we have incorporated the stripes onto our inner tents here, and that really ties in with different types of furniture and different products within the Outwell range as well. So we can see on the outside here we have all these handy storage pockets for smaller bits and pieces, and on the top of each door into each inner tent we have another mesh panel there that can be closed up from behind for more privacy. Inside each sleeping compartment you'll find a large ventilation panel, mesh panel across the back. We have some storage pockets down the side, and also in these sleeping compartments we have these low light windows which just enabled you to have a wee look outside. Now with these being universal bedrooms, one of the main advantages is that we can, like I said earlier, split them into 2 different bedrooms, and all we need to do to separate them is just unzip this piece of material, which has a zip that runs all the way around there, to open that up into one large sleeping compartment. But another advantage of the universal bedroom is that if you so desire, we can simply start to untoggle one side of the sleeping compartment, and with the zip that's in between here, if we unzip that all the way around and take all these toggles off, you will actually be able to drop one full side of this sleeping compartment and roll that away. That's going to leave you with one bedroom and even more space in here, which there is plenty of, as I'm sure you can see. Optional extras for this tent include a carpet for the living area here. There's a footprint that goes underneath the tent for a little bit more protection underfoot, and there's also a front awning available. So that's our Arkansas 5.